Well, good morning again, folks. Yesterday when I posted my video uh, of the Z-axis power lift on my mill, it was April the 1st. And I guess I turned out to be the biggest April Fool of all, because as soon as I started to actually use it, I run it up and down numerous times testing. But the first time I got ready to use it, I heard that familiar sound. Any of us that's ever messed with gear motors, not so much familiar sound, but a sound that you dread hearing, don't like hearing uh, when you're working with a gear motor. If I had taken the motor cover off, the gearbox cover off, before I did this, I probably wouldn't have even wasted my time using this gear motor. This old mechanism worked fine. That part was not an issue at all. The problem was, there's what it was for a gear inside there. Tiny, tiny little splines on that gear, and on top of that, it's plastic. And you see what happened? First time it got in a serious bind, I run the Z-axis down kind of low where the jibs got a little tight, and it didn't want to go back up. It grabbed a couple times, 3 places on there, until of course it just finally quit. But all's not lost. Let me reposition the camera and I'll show you what I did to take care of that. I dug through that container tote box full of gear motors and all, like I say, that my brother-in-law dropped off here many years ago. And there's several of these old, they're Bodine Electric Company, Chicago, Illinois. This has obviously been around for quite a few years, but there were several of these in there. And I finally managed to put together one of these that worked with a control box that worked. Now, I made my coupling a little bit different this time. I'm going to handheld for just a second. What I did this time, of course, bored it out to the 595 on this side, just like we did the one in the earlier video. This was a 625, 5/8, I believe it's 625. Bored that out. In the center, though, I cut a hex on here. Now, the purpose in doing that is if something should happen, such as with the control box on here, I blow a fuse in it, or and it's to the point that I don't want to take the whole assembly off, I can simply remove this set screw on this side over here, use a 13/16 wrench, and it'd be slow going, but could run the Z-axis up and down just with a wrench. So I put that on there for that. I also put some indicators on the side of the column. Here's a stop point here, and on the head itself, when those line up, I'm getting a critical situation, about another inch down, and that would be it. Going up, got the same thing. So that's just a notice for me. If I get much below that and have the drill chuck in the quill, it's going to hit the table anyhow. But this is just a reminder for a stop. And at some point, I may put some limit switches on there just for safety's sake. The control that goes with this one is a little bit different, but it cleaned up fairly nice. I did determine that you need to apply the brake before you turn the power on, but brake's on now. Turn the power on, and this one's actually a 10 amp, where the one I was using yesterday was only 3 amp. This is a 10 amp breaker in it with a 15 amp fuse. So we hit our up. This one is a little slower than the other one, but it's definitely got the horsepower and got the gears to handle the load. and then down. So maybe I'm over the April Fool joke that I pulled on myself. I believe this one's going to last a whole lot better.